The theater lights dimmed, and a hush spread across the packed auditorium. The judges, known for their sharp words and tough hearts, leaned forward in their chairs, prepared for yet another audition. Nobody expected what was about to unfold. A skinny boy in worn-out clothes walked nervously onto the stage, clutching an old microphone stand as though it was the only thing holding him up. His shoes were scuffed, his shirt a little too big, and his voice trembled when he said his name. The audience shifted uncomfortably, some already doubting him. But then he announced the song he was about to sing, Hotel California. A murmur ran through the crowd. It was a legendary song, one that even seasoned singers struggled to master. Everyone thought it was far too ambitious for a boy like him. The boy closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and the first note slipped from his lips. The moment the sound reached the air, the entire room froze. His voice wasn't just a sound. It was a story, raw and filled with emotion. Each word carried a weight of pain, struggle, and hope. The audience leaned in, as if pulled by an invisible force. The judges, usually unshaken, widened their eyes in disbelief. Goosebumps spread across arms. He wasn't just singing, he was pouring out every hardship he had ever faced, wrapping them in melody and sending them into the hearts of every single person listening. The story behind that voice was one of hardship. The boy grew up in a small, struggling family. His father worked long hours, and his mother often skipped meals so he and his siblings could eat. They didn't have much, but music was his escape. He used to hum in the fields while helping his father, and sometimes he sang lullabies to his younger brother when the nights grew too heavy. Singing was never about fame for him, it was about surviving, about releasing emotions he couldn't explain with words. Standing on that stage was the bravest thing he had ever done. But the challenges were many. For years, he was told he wasn't good enough. Other children laughed at his dream of becoming a singer, mocking his voice and his simple life. His teachers advised him to focus on realistic goals. Even his neighbors whispered that boys like him never made it past the edges of poverty. Yet he kept singing. Every rejection, every insult, every doubt only made him cling tighter to his passion. Now, standing in front of the judges, he was determined to show the world that his dream was worth something. As he reached the chorus, his voice grew stronger, soaring with passion. The lyrics of Hotel California carried a haunting weight through his tone, turning a classic into something new, something deeply personal. The audience, once doubtful, was now silent. Some had tears streaming down their faces. One of the judges pressed their hand to their chest, visibly shaking from the intensity of his voice. Another leaned forward, whispering under their breath that they had never heard anything like this before. It was as if the boy had taken all of his struggles and transformed them into pure sound. When he finished, the silence in the theater was overwhelming. For a moment, no one could even clap. The boy opened his eyes slowly, fear flickering across his face, thinking perhaps he had failed. But then the audience erupted. People rose to their feet, cheering, clapping, some even crying openly. The judges looked at each other, their expressions unrecognizable. These were professionals who had seen countless auditions, yet none of them could find words to explain what they had just experienced. Finally, one judge leaned forward and said, with their voice shaking, that was not just a performance. That was life itself in music. The golden buzzer was slammed. Confetti rained down as the boy covered his face in disbelief. He had done it. The dream that seemed impossible, the dream everyone told him to let go of, had come true in that moment. His family, watching from the sidelines, wept with pride. The boy had proven that talent and heart could rise from the humblest beginnings and touch the entire world. The challenges he faced didn't disappear that night. Life was still going to be hard, and fame wouldn't solve everything. But the boy had achieved something far greater than just applause. He had shown every person watching that no matter how poor you are, no matter how many times you're told you're not good enough, your voice matters. Your dreams matter. And if you dare to stand tall and share your truth, you can move mountains, or in his case, leave judges shaking. By the end of the show, the boy wasn't just a contestant anymore. He was a symbol of hope. His story inspired millions, reminding them that greatness can come from the most unexpected places. And somewhere, deep inside, he knew this was only the beginning of a journey that would change his life forever.